Hello and happy almost 4th of July. I'm Christine with Rabbit Trails Homeschool, and I want to share a few resources that you guys can use to celebrate Independence Day in your own homeschool. So here's the thing. This year is the 250th birthday of the United States of America, which is super exciting. And I've noticed all these different companies have come out with specific mini units or resources or whatever it is specifically for the 250th anniversary. And so months and months and months ago, I was like, we need to make something new. What can we make? And then I was like, guys, there's not really anything new we can make because we already have this stuff. And so my team and I put a pause on all of it because we were like, we don't need to just take what we've already done. We can just share what we already have. And so that's what I want to do with you today, because whether you are seeing this video in 2026 on the 250th birthday, or whether you are seeing this 5 years from now, this can be done any single year. It does not need to be done just for the 250th birthday. We can celebrate our independence every single July 4th. And so these are just some really great resources, including a free one for you as well, that you guys can use in your homeschool to learn about the founding of our country, to learn about Independence Day, and all kinds of cool stuff. So I want to start off with America's founders. This is, I think it was our very first history unit. I have to think back now. I believe it was our very first history unit because I just remember loving learning about this time period in school, and it's probably one of my favorites now. Even if I'm reading historical fiction, I love reading about this time period. And so it is all about our different nations' founders. And so you will learn about, it has 8 different lessons, and you will learn about George Washington, Paul Revere. Here's all the main books. That's what I'm reading off of. And you can see this on our website as well. I'll have that all linked for you guys. George Washington, Paul Revere, Betsy Ross, John Adams, Abigail Adams, Ben Franklin, Alexander Hamilton, and Thomas Jefferson. So you can see this full list in our lesson sample. You can see a full lesson in our lesson sample, so you can see what it looks like inside. But it is just a really cool unit that inside of this, you're still gonna be learning about the Declaration of Independence. You are still gonna be learning about the Constitution, because all of that kind of ties together with all of these people. And so it's just a really great curriculum. It might be one of my favorite history units that we have. Again, because I love this time period, but I just feel like the activities are just super fun. We did it this past school year, again, for the second time in my home. And it just gives me such like a lovely feeling. And my kids, especially the Paul Revere, I always say that I have like a historical crush on Paul Revere. We actually went to his house when we went up to Boston, and it's just so cool. Anyway, I think that his lesson is possibly my favorite just because the hands-on activity is just so much fun. And all 4 of my kids have had fun doing it throughout the years. And so it's a blast. So check out America's Founders. Go check out that book list. Go check out a sample lesson. And like I said, it is 8 lessons. And so you can do this during a school year. We even spread it out last school year that we did it the whole school year. We did not add another curriculum to this, which is what I typically recommend doing, because I wanted just to really go through it and really take our time and not feel rushed learning about these people. So that's what we did. Another resource for you guys is our Independence Day lesson. And so this is just a single lesson, and it is obviously about the 4th of July. And so there are just really sweet handicrafts inside of this. There's even some science inside of this. There's obviously history inside of this. Really great book recommendations. It is just a really sweet lesson. In fact, the what we call the Some Fun activity, I still have hanging in my kitchen. And so it is not just one of those crafts that you make and throw away. Like, it's become a keepsake for us. And so it's just been, it's nice when your kids do activities like that and it's not something that you're just gonna throw in the trash the next week. So super fun, single lesson. I think it's only $8, super awesome. And so last but not least, I said I have a freebie for you guys. And so that is our Francis Scott Key lesson. My printer was not cooperating with me. And so I was like, hey, I need to bust out the handy tablet instead. So our Francis Scott Key, again, it is a single lesson. It is a free lesson. And if you don't remember, Francis Scott Key is who wrote the national anthem. And so you are not only going to learn about him, you're going to learn about more historical or patriotic, not historical, more patriotic songs as well. Do another fun little craft activity, learn some more history, and it's just a lot of fun. So I will link that freebie for you guys as well to check out. So there are plenty of resources. We did not have to make something new. You guys can absolutely grab something that we already have. You could even, if you're wanting to do a full summer study, this is something you can spread out over the next couple of months as well. So you guys have lots that you can do to celebrate this coming week and even for the weeks after. So I hope that you grab one or two or all three of them and you're able to celebrate the 4th of July and not just celebrate. But it's so important to learn about why we celebrate as well. Because yes, there's fireworks. Yes, there's hot dogs and watermelon. Yes, there's family gatherings or with friends, whatever it is that you guys do on the 4th of July. It's awesome to celebrate. But we want to make sure that our kids understand why we celebrate and also the sacrifices that people have done over the past 250 years so that we can celebrate and have the freedom to celebrate. So make sure that you're teaching all of that to your kids, whether it is through our free lesson or one of our paid for lessons, or whether it is through Googling it or a YouTube video. Just make sure they are learning because that's so incredibly important. And we know that if we don't study history, we've been told history is going to repeat itself. And so we don't want to have another Revolutionary War, right? We want to be able to celebrate the freedoms that we have. So make sure that you are teaching your kiddos all of those things about our freedoms and all of the awesome things that go along with it. So I hope that you're able to click on those links, grab what you need, and have a wonderful Independence Day. See you later.